It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on S3. Now, before the ad break, we showed you some cuteness, and now we're going to dive into it because welcoming home a newborn baby, it is a very exhilarating moment for both our families and, of course, our furry friends. Now, this morning we are diving into that excitement, sharing tips and tricks on how you can ensure your beloved pets seamlessly transition into their new role as big brother and sisters. And that's why we have asked for pet behavioralist Karis Nafty to join us alongside Bear. Yes, he knows his name.
Yes, he knows his name.
He knows his name. Oh, this is so exciting. And it's a very exciting chapter for a lot of families. Most of us, our pets are our fur kids. They're not just our furry friends. But now I'm thinking as a couple that have had a dog or has a dog and now they're pregnant and they're about to have their baby, it can be quite an anxious moment. How are we going to make sure the dog likes the baby? The baby will obviously grow up with the dog and won't know any better. So perhaps, Karis, how can we prepare the home, our dog, to accept this imminent arrival of a new baby?
It's such a fun time and it's such a good question. And hopefully these tips will help new moms feel a little bit easier about the transition. So my first big tip is to try to put routines in place before the baby is born that you will have after. So for example, if you let your dog sleep on the bed or cuddle on the couch like Bear is doing now, if you don't think you'll be comfortable with that when the baby comes, then start to teach your dog long before the baby's due to stay on the floor, for example. In other words, you don't want to suddenly change everything the dog's used to as soon as the baby comes home. So you can put that in place immediately. When the baby is born, so if the baby is born in the hospital, bring home the blankets and the clothes that the baby has been wearing before the baby comes home so the dog can smell it. So dogs get so much of their information through their nose. So you want to bring all this home, allow the dog to smell it. When you bring the actual baby home, which is a very sweet moment, it's really, really important that the dog is allowed to smell the baby. Now, if you have any worry that your dog seems scared of the baby or is acting anything other than excited, then you should get professional help in to give you some advice. But if your dog is just a normal, like, wow, I'm excited, what are you holding? Is it a cat? What is it? You've got to let the baby smell it. I mean, let the dog smell it. So keep the baby wrapped up, but allow the dog to inspect the baby with its nose. That will calm the dog down quite a lot.
Okay.
My biggest tip for families when a new baby comes is make sure that your dog is still going to get its normal amount of exercise, which seems like a silly tip. But if you've got an active dog who's used to 1 or 2 walks every day and suddenly those walks stop because, of course, everyone's busy with baby, that can make a dog quite kind of manic and seem like the dog's acting funny to the baby, but really the dog's just bored.
Yeah, they're bored and they're out of their own routine.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So if you have family asking you, like, how can I help you? Ask them, please take the dog for a walk, and that's one way they really can help you quite a lot.
And that is amazing. A friend of mine, when her fur baby was her everything, and then she had her baby and she was extremely worried. They took the tips you've said where they sent something home, the dog got excited, but she said she wished she had taken the dog for a walk before they brought the baby back because the dog just had too much energy. Now, how can parents just make sure that they themselves stay calm? Because, I mean, it's natural for a dog to be inquisitive, to go to the new baby and try and smell it. But I think as a new parent, you're also like, oh my gosh, the germs, let's keep the baby away or the dog away. How can we make sure that moment is a bit more calm, if it's even possible?
If it's even possible. Look, it is possible. So taking your dog for a walk beforehand is a great idea. If your dog is not, sick, there's not a risk of I'm not a doctor, I'm not a vet, but in terms of the health risk, I know people worry about that, but there isn't a big risk that the dog is going to somehow make the baby sick from smelling it and just getting close. So the biggest thing to do is get low enough that the dog can smell the baby. If you hold the baby up high and you feel a bit panicky, the dog will jump, and that can seem scary. So what dad can do, or someone else in the family, is keep the dog on a leash so that mom can sit down with the baby, allow the dog to smell the baby, and then after that initial excitement, I would take the dog on a second walk. I know it seems like just take the dog on a walk, but when dogs walk, they calm down. Everything calms down. Another tip that's really helpful is to get something your dog likes to chew on. And after the dog has said hello to the baby, give it something fun to chew on. And
Okay.
then the dog can channel its excitement into its mouth rather than jumping up at the baby.
Oh, and also, I mean, if you were the initial fur mom, spend some time alone with your doggy before he goes and meets the new puppy. I mean, the new baby. Look at us changing babies and puppies around. Look at us.
The human puppy, yeah, exactly.
Just a puppy with no hair.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I absolutely love this. Now, naturally, you want to make sure your dog is protected from parasites and worms, from being outside, and now you having your doggo in the home. How important is it to make sure you stay to all your various vaccinations and that they are up to date?
Yeah, all of that is important. So you want your dog to be healthy. You don't want any kind of fleas in the house. You don't want to risk that your dog is not a good, normal, healthy dog. So have all of that in place ahead of time. Get all nice and organized so you don't have to worry about making any extra vet trips or going for annual vaccinations or anything like that. Yeah.
Oh, well, Karis, we always love having you and Bear, and whenever Samuel is here. But Bear, today's your day, right, Bear? Oh, yes, it is. Well, I need to now change into my grown-up voice, because NEXGARD, they safeguard not just pets, but also the whole family. Now, trusted and effective, it offers peace of mind to pet owners, to new parents, ensuring that their furry friends and human loved ones are protected from parasites. With NEXGARD, family care is complete, allowing everyone to enjoy life to the fullest, and you can choose a brand that prioritizes family, both the two-legged and the four-legged. Well, there you have it, and we also have one lucky viewer that stands the chance to win a 2,000 Rand cash and a surprise goodie for their furry friend. Now, the cash is for you, the goodies for the friend. Now, simply reply to the competition post that's available on Expresso's Facebook, X or Instagram pages, and tell us why your furry friend holds such a special place in your family. Don't forget to include that hashtag NEXGARD and hashtag Guardians of Love. The competition will close at midday on Friday, the 24th of May, and there are T's and C's that can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. Now that Sam is sitting all beautiful and all... How old is Sam? I know a lot of viewers would love to know about Bear.
Yeah, Bear, that's okay.
Sam, sorry,
Bear,
I'm confusing the pups.
So Bear is almost 6 years old, and what happens with poodles like him who get haircuts is people think he's a puppy because he looks like a puppy. He's just had his hair done, but he's almost 6 years old. He's a miniature poodle, and he's a fabulous little dog. He's absolutely brilliant.
And how is Bear with babies?
Bear loves babies. Bear loves babies. I've got kids myself, and I made sure when he was small, I wasn't planning on having any more kids after I had him, but he loves meeting kids and playing with kids in the park. So he's a really excellent dog. Not all dogs are great with kids. You have to use all your common sense when it comes to dogs and kids. But for dogs like Bear who really love people, they're just the most fabulous little playmates.
Oh, well, there we go. Karis Nafti, thank you for joining us today. And thank you, Bear. Thank you for being such a good boy. Be a good boy. There we go.